The garden is like a steadfast friend with an open invitation, always there, waiting. In a world full of shifting shadows and fleeting fidelity, the garden remains in hopeful expectation. It can be in the dead of winter or in the bloom of spring, and the same will remain true about this space. Company is always welcomed. And today we are doing some housekeeping. Yes, today we will officially be done with the fence, and I am so excited about that. So that means that our greenhouse is officially inside of our garden. We have been working on renovating, renewing our garden for probably the last month, and it is so beautiful. It has really come together. The vision is coming to life, which I'm so excited about. Y'all, this tree that I'm pulling out right here, that's called a Chinese tallow, and it does have medicinal value. It is right here inside of our orchard, and so I needed to pull that up, but they spread like crazy. We have several of these all over our property, and so I wasn't worried about pulling this up. We do want to keep some places, but we do need to get rid of them where they're just going to continue to spread. We don't want to let our Chinese tallow just take over. We will be pruning all of our baby trees for the first time. It will probably be late fall or early winter. From what I read, I want to wait until all of the leaves fall off, so we will do it then. I did expect for them to grow more than they did, but I am not giving up hope. We are going to continue to learn how to grow fruit trees. I did harvest all of the leaves from the stevia except for the top so that they can go to flower and then go to seed so that I can harvest the seeds from this plant. So we do already have some flowers. But I did make a batch of a large, very large batch of stevia from all of the leaves on this. But this is why it's still here looking like this, because we are trying to produce some seeds. In this box, we have some peas growing as well as some cabbage. Everything is already growing so beautifully, even though it's only been a very short time into our fall growing season. All of the Korean seeds that I planted in this bed, y'all, popped up, I felt like overnight. It happened so quickly. You can already see that I'm going to need to cover this. Look how many holes is in this Brussels sprout right now. And I do see that little worm in there, which I'm gonna smush, but oh, the back of it is just covered with eggs. You see all those little eggs right there? It's just covered in them. Oh, there's lots of worms. Okay, so these are the culprits right here. We do organic gardening. The best method at this point is to just smush them with our hands or something to squish it against, and then I'm probably gonna need to cover these because I'm so shocked at how much pest pressure is here already. To be so grossed out now, I just want to kill them as fast as possible. I've graduated for sure. I just want to smush these. Now if they were a little bigger, I would not smush those with my fingers, but I'm going to spray off these eggs and make sure none are hiding. It's pretty much ruined. I'm probably gonna take those bottom leaves off actually. Same thing going on right beside it, unfortunately. Lots of pest damage. So this is our second fall garden, and I can tell you right now that at this time last year we did not have any pest pressure, and so that's really interesting. Maybe because they're so introduced to the garden after having 3 seasons at this point, because we started last spring and we gardened the spring and then the fall and then again in the spring, and so now we are at our second fall, and I really honestly wasn't expecting this. If this is your first season planting a fall garden, doing a daily check on your leaves is going to be so important if you are choosing to do a organic garden, because from day to day it can change so drastically, and some of these little worms you can't even see. You really have to look close, and definitely look for the eggs. I know there's a worm in the area because this leaf has been eaten. It's all about finding it. Sometimes they just hide so well. This has a lot of little eggs on it. See how little that is? It's like you can barely even see it. So unfortunate. But they will just rip through your plants so fast. Our peas are looking beautiful. I think this variety right here was called early pea. And so that's why it looks a bit different. I know there's a worm over here, but I can't find it. I keep finding eggs, these eggs, right in the same exact bed, and I keep removing them. A good method that I will have to do next time is to search for the eggs and the worms before I water it, because those eggs, those little yellow eggs, they are hard. Like I tried to squish them and they just won't bust, they won't break. And so I think coming out here with some tape is going to be the easier thing to assure that I get them off. But even with I'm going to have to make sure not to water first. I'm going to have to do pest control first, it appears. Well, I guess it's safe to say that I need to add a roller tape to my my garden belt, the invisible garden belt that I don't have on. But I think bringing tape out here is going to be a really great idea. These peas are growing in so beautifully. Last year, I was so shocked at how prolific these were. I was shocked by how prolific and how amazing they taste, because it was so different than having peas from the store. I love that we are still picking things from our summer garden. Y'all, I'm probably going to go ahead and seek out a garden hose solution sooner than later, because is anybody else with me on this? Like, you start watering the garden and all of a sudden there's a kink in the hose, and then you have to go all the way back to the beginning to find out where it's at. And then next thing you know, the water hose turns on and makes a big mess. On a different note, the vegetables inside this green stalk are growing so well, y'all. Look at these babies. They are growing so quickly. I am just so happy to see them grow in this way. These seedlings truly love the green stalk so much. Is there anyone else who is using this method to plant their greens for this fall garden? I love the idea of planting greens in something like this because it's so easy to harvest. It's way up from the ground, so I don't have to worry about slugs or any other kind of bugs that want to just devour it. And so I found that it has less pest pressure for sure. So I would have some carrots like this in a row, and I can see that they are nicely spaced, and then all of a sudden there's none. And I don't know how to feel about this. I don't want to feel like I am getting desperate and I want to just throw some carrot seeds in here and do what this lady, she called it chaos carrots. And she says she just throws her carrot seeds and they grow. I may have to resort to some chaos carrots. I do see some growing though, but I was just expecting them to grow evenly as far as like at the same rate. Since they're the same seed, you can see these germinated, but if you keep going down the row, there's maybe one or two and then there's none. And so I am having to really think through this. So let me show you these carton carrots, which I had such high hopes for, but if you see, I have not one sprout. I had some sprouted, not all, but I had a few here and there, and they just dwindled away and died. And I have no idea why. It stays nice and moist in this carton. So as you can see right there, I don't know if it's just too hot or what. Like, it just shriveled up and died. Shriveled up and died. So I'm kind of feeling like I need to sow more seeds in these. Because what I don't want, I'd rather have too many than none at all. I may do what my garden friend, she saw me do this and was like, I'm gonna do that too, but she added one extra step, which was she wrapped her carton in plastic, and her seeds had incredible germination. And so I think I'm just going to go ahead and pop some more seeds in here. I'm gonna pop some more seeds in here, and then I'm going to wrap it in plastic to assure I can get a fast germination so that we will have carrots, because I really want to have carrots. I want to be successful with this. I don't know why these shriveled up and died. Okay, I have some plastic, and I am just going to seed these again because I'd rather overseed and be safe than sorry, because I will be sorry. I will be very sorry. I still have time to sow them, and I won't be in a rush for them to get big in a certain amount of time because I'm not planting anything else in that space. Surprise carrots. I am going to soak these again. Even though it is already damp, that's the only problem about wrapping it. But anyway, I'm going to make sure this is completely soaked, and then I'm going to wrap that in plastic, and I'm going to do it with the other 6 as well. One way I am thinking I can keep these moist is by just setting them in a container of water, because since they are this biodegradable egg carton, they would be able to soak up the water. So if I wanted to keep this covered, I really could. Actually, I think I should do an experiment. Maybe I should put a couple of them inside a container with water and then half of them not. That way I can see if there's a difference. Because I'm still in the process of just figuring out so many things. So I'm trying to learn for myself what works and what doesn't. And I'm grateful I'm still in a time where these things can be learned. Our world is not in a place, well, our country is not in a place yet where we don't have the ability to go and get food, because I do think that if that ever comes to play, if that ever happens for us, those of us who are learning how to grow our own food, we're going to be so grateful that we did. So now's the time. Only concern that's really popping up in my mind at the moment, I'm wondering if the egg carton will deteriorate, but I can always slide it out into the ground, kind of shimmy it in there, try not to disturb the roots. So that is the hope. I'm hoping for the best, y'all, because we about to be getting us some carrots. I'm not taking no for an answer. And I'm gonna go out here and sprinkle some more carrot seeds. Have confidence knowing that I really tried. Also planted 2 different types of beets because I actually like beets. It depends, like pickled beets I really like, and I like juicing beets because it is a detoxifier. And so I really would love to grow beets. I tried to grow beets last year, unsuccessful. So I am trying again because that is what I get to do when I operate in my freedom. So I am trying again, and so hopefully this year we will grow beets. Anyhow, I could sit and talk forever. Thank you guys so much for joining me again today. I'll see you guys next time.